Fabulous. And I'm going to, at this point, hand over to the Year 6 teachers.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us this morning. I am Miss Curtin and
I am Miss Dorsey.
And we are both the Year 6 teachers currently in Year 6 at Grovelands. So Cobra's class is me. I'm also the Upper Key Stage 2 leader and the assistant head teacher, and I am Miss Curtin. And then we have Miss Dorsey, who is the Python class teacher. And she works with Mrs. Napoli and Mrs. Forbes, and I work with Mrs. O'Sullivan and Mrs. Forbes. But to be quite honest, all the adults move across the year group throughout the day anyway.
Okay, so structure of our day. Obviously 8:40 doors open. You have 20-minute window to come in, registration and spelling. We then move swiftly on to English. Then we follow through into whole class reading, followed by an assembly, which is at 10:30. Playtime at 10 to 11. After playtime, it turns into maths. We have arithmetic, maths and times tables. Then it's lunchtime. Move on to the afternoon where we have grammar. Then we have foundation subjects, and then it's the end of the school day at 3 o'clock.
And as you can see, the day is pretty ram jam. So if your children are coming home tired, then this will give you a little bit more of an understanding as to why. Yes. So the curriculum at Grovelands, we deliver a really broad and balanced curriculum. In the mornings, we tend to teach our English, our maths, our grammar, our reading, our arithmetic, our spelling. And then in the afternoons, we focus more on the foundation subjects, which are your science, PE, PSHE, art, music, geography, history, RE, computing, DT, and French. And when I say them all like that, it makes me realise
how much we actually
fit in. Yeah, so that's the curriculum subjects that your children are learning.
Okay, so topics in Year 6 for the first 2 half terms. Over the autumn term, we focus on A Child's War, which is all linked to World War II, and our class reader is Goodnight Mr. Tom. Over spring 1 and spring 2, so the whole spring term, we do Bloodheart, related to circulatory system, Pigheart Boy is our reader. And in summer, we focus on Holla, Mexico, and all linked to Mexican, and the reader is Holes.
And just to add to that, some of the topics that we touch on in A Child's War and potentially in Pigheart Boy may be slightly triggering to some children if for any reason they feel worried or upset, or there are any concerns whatsoever about any of the topics that we do in Year 6. Please don't hesitate to come to either myself or Miss Dorsey and let us know. We will definitely be able to help. Absolutely. So, educational visits and Spark Days. Spark Days is something we either do at the beginning of a topic or at the end of the topic, and sometimes even in the middle. These are to really immerse the children in their learning. So last week you would have had a letter come home, which is our Spark for World War II, which we've got a theatre company coming in, which will completely immerse the children. They learn a lot more about the home front, about evacuation, and be almost like an evacuee child for the day. We've asked them to actually come in sort of fancy dress or costume for that if possible. So that should be really fun. It's actually the first time we've done that this year. We've changed our trip. So we're really looking forward to experiencing that. We also do things for our Blood Heart topic where we do a big British Heart Foundation fundraiser, which can sometimes be linked to exercise, so like dodgeball competitions and things like that, but we let the children plan that, so I can't give you any more information on that yet because we haven't started that topic. And then we have our Mayan-based trip and Spark, which again is to be confirmed. Since COVID, all of these new topics that have come about, some of the trips are still just sort of finding their feet. So we're looking forward to do some research on that and find something that will really, really excite the children. And then obviously they're already talking about it. It's our residential that comes after SAT, which is in Swanage down by the beach, and there'll be lots more meetings and parent meetings to give you more information about that. But it's just a few examples of ways that we immerse the children in their learning throughout the year. So SATs are going ahead as normal, like they did last year. And I, myself and Miss Dorsey and Mr. Tuck will be holding parent information evenings kind of the beginning of April. If there are any worries or concerns, do come and see us before, but we're not going to put too much pressure. We're not mentioning it too much at the moment. They're at the beginning of Year 6. It's about settling in. It's about feeling comfortable, and it's about being happy. And that's when you learn, is when you're happy. And as a school, we're really hot on mental health and well-being. And the SATs are a process that all the children have to go through, but they do not, determine whether they have succeeded or failed Year 6. So we don't put too much pressure on that, but more information will come in the latter part of April.
So PPA, so this is a afternoon that we are released as teachers for planning, preparation and assessment. In year 6, PPA day will be a Monday afternoon and the children will be taught by Mr. Tuck and Miss Stillwell.
And they are being taught music and RE on Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
So homework, we still expect children in upper key stage 2 to be reading every day. They are able to read alone, that is fine, quite nice. It's nice to just immerse yourself in a book independently. However, at least once a week, we would ask that you read with your child and just make a note in the reading record, just so they're still getting those comprehension questions. You know, what have you read? Can you predict what might happen next? Talk about what's happened, the characters. Why do you think certain vocabulary has been used here? What effect does that have? Any questions like that, just to deepen their understanding of what they've read. So that's once a week, but they are expected to read every day independently if they can. And then homework in year 6 is done through CGP books. They have been really successful in the past, and they will get a maximum of 3 books sent home a week. And then there's a timetable in the homework diary, reading record, homework diary, whichever you want to call it. And there's also a letter that will be sent home this week, which can go on the fridge just for a quick reference. And it will tell you what pages are to be done what week. We do urge that you don't, although you've been given the homework all the way to Christmas, we do urge that you don't complete pages that aren't for that week, because we've been very, very careful in only setting homework that the children have already learned, because we want homework to be a successful activity and not something that just exacerbates stress and worry. We do have a homework club which runs on a Wednesday after school. This is for invite only. However, if spaces do become available, we may make it freely available for the year group, but at the moment we are full. But if there are any problems with homework, please don't hesitate and come and see either myself or Miss Forsey.
Just to quickly add to that, homework is handed out on a Wednesday and it must be back on a Monday.
Oh yeah, that's important as well.
Okay, expectations in year 6. So attendance. Obviously, it's important to come to school. Attendance, ensure your child is at school on time each day. We do expect their attendance to be higher than 96%. It's just very important for them to attend school and especially be on time.
And we shut the register at 9 o'clock on the dot. So if they come into the classroom after 9 o'clock, they should have come through the office anyway. But if not, then they are down as a late. Even if they do slip through the gate, 9 o'clock is the cut-off time.
Yeah. Uniform. So please ensure that all uniform is in line with Grovelands uniform expectations. Please be reminded that jewellery, including earrings, large hair accessories, dyed hair and shave sections are not permitted at school. PE kit. Please ensure that your child comes to school in their PE kit on their PE day, which for year 6 for both classes is on Friday afternoons.
And just to add in terms of jewellery, you can buy the little tiny retainers for the earrings now, which are fine to have in, rather than have the ears empty, for want of a better word, empty. You can buy the little tiny see-through retainers, which you can get on eBay and Amazon and places like that. So Grovelands Values, these were chosen by the staff, by the children, by the whole Grovelands community. They're something that we really are trying to raise the profile of this year, especially with our Grovelands value tokens. Our 6 values are kindness, respect, friendship, uniqueness, trust and determination. And children will be given values tokens if they are showing these particular values and we're recognising their efforts. We then go into a pot which they find just by the hall, which is in house colours. And then by the end of the term, hopefully the winning house will get a mufti day. And there are some more treats along the way. So yeah, we're really bigging up these particular values. 1, because they're important, but 2, because they're important to everybody at Grovelands as a community.
And also just to add to that as well, if we see anyone demonstrating values, a Grovelands postcard might be sent home. You might have had these last year or the year before, and they're just really nice to recognise that. Behaviour system. So just as it has been, children will be awarded Grovelands Values tokens in school for demonstrating any of the values. The tokens, like Ms Curtin said, are collected and then transferred to house team colours near the office. The winning house each term gets to have special treatment at school, and obviously we've got our 4 colours: yew, sycamore, chestnut and birch.
So if you have any concerns, if your child has any concerns, we encourage them to obviously speak to a member of staff first. And then if it has not been dealt with or they're still feeling worried or concerned, then the parent or the carer can obviously relay the worries to us again. Or writing a note to any trusted adult. In our classrooms, we do have a I wish my teacher knew box, which all the children are aware of, where they can just write a little tiny slip of paper and they can write down any worries they have and pop it in. So there's not that sort of, sometimes it can be a bit much to approach a member of staff. So there's lots of different ways they can communicate with us that they're aware of. In terms of parental concerns, please firstly do speak to the class teacher. They are the ones that spend the majority of the time with your child. They know them best. If you do, however, feel that it's not been resolved, the next step is then the phase leader, which in year 5 and year 6, it's myself. And then in terms of, if then you don't feel it's been dealt with, you can then move to the next step, which is Mr. Tuck or Mrs. Coleman.
Okay, parent meetings. So all parents will be invited to make an appointment for parent evenings. That will happen in the autumn term and the spring term. And parents of children with any special educational needs will also be invited to a pupil passport meeting every term to specifically talk to those children about their specific targets that they're focusing on, and that will be invite for special educational needs children.
So any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself or write it in the chat, however you feel most comfortable, if there are any outstanding questions you'd like to ask.
I'm going to take that as read that there aren't any questions at this point, and thank you both for a really informative parent meet the teacher session there. So thank you so much to Miss Curtin and Miss Forsey for that. It was full of information and hopefully you found it really useful. If you do subsequently have any questions, you can just ping them to info@grovelands.surrey.sch.uk and they'll be forwarded through to the teachers from there, or just speak to the teachers on the door in the morning or at pickup time. As I said at the start of the session, this has been recorded. I'm going to get straight on popping it on YouTube and sharing the link with you later today so that you can share it with anyone else in the household who wasn't able to attend, so that they can find out all of the same information. Okay, thank you everyone. I hope you have a lovely day and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.